fan around. How's it going? I'm Sean McKay. I'm gonna be giving you guys a class on what the blended retirement system is. All right, the blended retirement system. All right. So, when did the blended retirement system start? It actually started back in January 2018. If you was in before then, you did not automatically get into this program. You know what I mean? You actually had to opt into the program. The time limit to actually opt in was December 31st, 2018. If you didn't opt in at that point, unfortunately, you are not in the blended retirement program. You're actually in the older retirement program. And anybody that's coming in after January 1st, 2018 are actually automatically grandfathered into the blended retirement system. All right. So before the blended retirement program, we had what was called the High 3. And what the High 3 is, you basically take the 3 highest years you was in the military, and you would, so say if you make $100,000 at your 3 highest years in the military, right? That's what your base pay will be based off with the High 3. That's the old program that they said, right? And that's if you actually made it up to 20 years. So if you made it up to 20 years and you was make your last 3 years, you're making probably $100,000 a year. That's what your base pay would be. But instead of getting your full base pay, it'd actually be 2.5% times the number of years you was in. So if you was in for 20 years, you times out by 2.5%, and then that'd be basically get 50% of your base pay. That's how much your retirement pay will be at that time. Make sense? So basically, you'll be getting paid $50,000 per year with the High 3 at the end of retirement. All right? At the end of 20 years. So what are some pros and cons of the High 3? If you actually made it to 20 years, you get 50% of your base pay, right? That's pretty good. But what are some cons of the High 3? If you didn't actually make it to 20 years, you didn't get anything. You get out the Army and hey, nice to meet you, you know what I mean? And 85% of people did not make it to 20 years. So 85% of people was getting out the Army and wasn't receiving anything, right? So they actually started a new plan called the Blended Retirement Plan. All right. So basically, with the blended retirement system, it changes two of the regular retirement systems. Of hey, you work here for 20 years, we want to give you some base pay for actually working with us for 20 years, right? But it also includes this what's called the thrift savings plan, right? So it combines both of them. That's why it's called the blended retirement program. It combines you actually working here and contributing to the thrift savings plan. All right. What are some changes that was made to the retirement plan? Instead of at the rate that it used to go, it used to be 2.5% of the years that you have. So basically, the way I did the math down here, so at 2.5%, it goes from 2.5% it goes down to 2%. All right. So with the way that math will go, instead of getting at the end of the day, instead of getting 50%, if you stayed in for 20 years, instead of getting 50% of your base pay, you'll be getting 40% of your base pay. And that's if you made it all the way to 20 years, and we'll go from there. All right. So, like I said, now if we're still using our same calculation, your high threes, from your high threes, instead of making $50,000 a year, you'll be making $40,000 a year, and that's just from the Army. That's not including what you contributed into TSP. So, after 60 days in the Army, with the new blended retirement program, you actually start you can actually start using TSP. I'm gonna go over what TSP is in a second. And when you start using it, the Army actually matches you 1%, no matter what, and it goes straight into your TSP. And after 2 years, the Army's actually going to start matching you 5% of whatever you contribute. All right, and that's pretty big. So with the thrift savings, what is the thrift savings plan? Thrift savings plan is basically the Army's version of the 401k. All right. So there's different types of thrift savings plans. You got the G fund, which is normally like the most secure fund. It's actually get put into government securities, and most of the time you get like a 1 to 2% back per year. Most people that use the G fund is a little later on in life, right before they want to retire. They want to just keep their money in there. They don't want it to fluctuate that much. The G fund is pretty secure. All right. Then you got the F fund, which is the fixed income fund. At this one, it's okay. Now you got a fixed income. You know exactly how much you're getting paid, and you know that's how much you want to put in there. This one's also pretty safe too. All right. It's a little bit more risk, but it's actually pretty safe. But the more risk you have, the more ups it can go, the lower it can go. You know what I mean? After that, we got the common index fund. So this is like your S&P 500s and things like that. All right. And that's what they'll be going into. Small capitalization stock fund is actually going to be contributing to some type of businesses out there. All right. After that, we got the international fund. So the money that you put into your contributions that you put in is actually going to be going to some kind of international things that whatever the Army is, whatever the TSP is going into, right? So it's going to be international funds. And then last you got the L fund, and that's what most people are put into automatically. It's called the life cycle fund. With the life cycle fund, it kind of fluctuates throughout your life, right? So now that you're younger, it'll go into something that's a little more risky. And then as you get older and getting closer to the retirement, it's actually going to go to into like a G fund, something that's a little more secure. All right, so what can you do with the TSP? All right, and what's some things that actually happened when we actually went to the BRS? One cool thing about the BRS that you can do with your TSP, at 12 years, you can get a bonus. Basically, it'll only give you a certain amount of money for continuing for a certain amount of years. Just so they could try to get you to that 20-year mark. And then at the end of the day, when you about ready to retire, you can either do two things. You could just let me continue getting paid with my TSP month to month, or you could take a lump sum out of either 25 to 50%, and then that's just money in your pocket, and you can do whatever you want with that, and you'll still be getting some kind of paycheck. So if you take the 25% out, you'll still be getting 75% of your paycheck per month, if that makes sense. So you have 100,000 in there. You take 25,000 out as a lump sum. That other 75,000 that's in there is going to be what your monthly is going to be. So I don't know exactly how the calculations go, but from that's when they're going to start putting things away for you. All right. So what to do if you're not staying in for 20 years, and that's one of the main things, right? For people that's not staying in for 20 years, you use the TSP or you was in the blended retirement, what you can do is leave the money in there, because unfortunately with the TSP, since it's like a 401k, you cannot automatically you can take the money out, but you're going to be taxed very highly on it. So you can just leave it inside your TSP for up until you retire, which you retire at 59 and a half years old. So you can just leave it in there, then you can just continue making money for you all the way until you're 59 and a half. Another thing you can do is, so say once you do get out, you get a job somewhere, you can actually roll this over into either a mutual fund, or if your job has a 401k, you can roll this straight over into their 401k and continue making money with this. Alright? Or you could take the money out. Like I said, if you want to take the money out, it's going to be, since you're not actually retiring yet, it's going to be taxed heavily. I think I read somewhere like 40 to 50% of it's going to be taxed. So it's best to actually keep it in there and just let it continue making money for you. If you guys know anything about the stock market, the more money, they normally get 7% back every year. So if you just keep money in there, you should be getting about 7% return on your money. And if it's just in there, you got $100,000, that's $7,000 a year that's making that $100,000 making for you. Make sense? And then as inflation and things go up, just making more money off of it. So in summary, the Blended Retirement Program, it started on January 1st, 2018. It replaced the high three, and everything that we talked about with the Blended Retirement System. And the main thing about it is that contribution, that 5% that they'll match for you, and that 5% match that they give you. Cool. That is all I got. Thank you guys.